going?
No,
You're not going?
if you don't want anything, I'm going to do
I said you need for tomorrow morning.
it.
She can send for tomorrow morning. For tomorrow morning.
Well,
Huh?
I'm not going to do it now. Oh, don't. How do we join?
Huh? I don't
What are we joining?
know what you're doing.
I want to get online.
Oh, you have to go to your settings.
So my settings.
You have TI guest.
What?
I guess.
Yes.
She's asking for your phone number or something.
Listen.
So the
What?
Gateways program,
It's a gateway.
Gateway program. Last year they had Kiefer Tatz, Pesach Krohn, Harry Rothenberg, Rabbi Mrs. Greenblatt, and Sally Wolf.
The first two, I know. Um, if there's no YU program, it's not these are touchy-feely kind of guys, the first two. They're gonna tell stories and they're not, is that good for you? It's good. If there's nothing else, I'm happy. Should we go?
I mean, we have time to decide because it's like
So let's see if there's a YU program that comes.
I didn't see anyone.
Is that what the Let's see, I guess.
I
How are you? How was
thank,
your Purim?
thank you so much for the beautiful Shalach
With
moment.
pleasure. With pleasure.
We enjoyed it.
Okay, that's what it's for.
Okay, we're on Chaf Dalid on the Bays, the Mishnah. I'm sorry, we did that. Chaf Hey Amid Bays Mishnah. Motza Begal Uvakoisel Yosh. You found something in a pile of stones or embedded in an old wall. Harelu Shalo, you can keep it. The Gemara will explain why. Motza Bekoisel Chadosh. You found something embedded in a new wall. So Mechetzia V'lachutz, from half of the wall to the outside, to the Rosh Hashanah, Shalom. Because most likely it came from the Rosh Hashanah. Mechetzia V'lifnim Shel Balabayis. The wall encloses a Rosh Hashanah. A Balabayis lives there. Items from the wall, 50% of the wall in, belongs to the Balabayis.
But it's one piece.
Yeah, we'll see. It's an item, like a kli. If this house that the wall encloses was rented to other people, so even if it's in the wall closer to the house, you can keep it. Again, because it's coming, there isn't one balabayas, it's many people, so we don't know who it is, or they're miyash. So first, the Gemara is dealing with the Reisha, which talked about an old wall, that if you find something there, you can claim shel emoyroin. It belonged to the Emoiri. These were the Canaanim that lived in Eretz Canaan before Yoshua conquered it. And therefore, I can keep it. So, Otu Amaron Matzni, Yisrael Matzni. What do you mean? Later on, the Jews owned it. So what? Only Amorites hide things in their wall and Jews don't? It could still belong to a Jew. Lo tzricha the shitich tvei. This is a very old wall. And therefore, it's talked about that it's been there for a long time. Then, because we made the Mishnah gave a get there. If it's towards the outside of the wall, you can keep it. If it's towards the inside, it belongs to the balabais. Aravashi sakina. Now, if he embedded a knife, so if the handle of the knife, you go after where the handle of the knife is. If they, like, people would embed a knife in a wall. So if the handle points to the inside, then it belongs to the inside. If it points to the outside, it belongs to the outside, which is Rosh Hashanah, you'd be able to keep it. Kisa basar shnatzeha. This is like a sack. It has an opening. And you tie the opening with the rope. So wherever that's pointing, that's who it belongs to. So Elamasnisan Diktani Mechetzev Elachutz. The Mishnah said if it's from 50% out to the Rosh Hashanah, it's Shalom. And Mechetzev Utnim Shabalabais. But why give Nechzi? Why in the Mishnah eat Katalagav, eat Katalabar? If the handle is towards the inside or the outside, or Ishnatzelagav or Shnatzelabar, the opening is on the inside, pointing to the outside. Why did you give me the getter that you gave me? So Masnisin Be'udr V'Naska, it doesn't have a handle. It's like a shmata or some kind of metal kli that doesn't have, one side or the other. So in those cases, you have to follow the rule of the Mishnah. Tana, hayakosel mamula mehen. Let's say the wall was full. Let's say there was coins there. So Cholkin, the person who found it, divides it with the owner of the wall.
Yes, sir.
So the Gemara says Pshita. I mean, that's a davar pashut. Lo tzricha de mashpa b'chad gisa. The wall is sloped. And maudesem ishtapuch ishtapuch. Really, the coins were on the high part of the wall. And then, because of the incline, they rolled down. So we would have thought that you give the ownership of the coins to the person whose territory the high part of the wall is in. Kamash one that no, we divide it no matter what. If the house that is enclosed by the wall was rented to many people, one after another, we say the person who finds the item in the wall can keep it. What do you mean? Why don't we go after the last person who lived there? And we assume that he's the one who lost it. Milo Tnan, didn't we learn a similar concept? Moshe Nimsu Livnei Sachri Behemet B'Yushalayim. You have animal sellers in Jerusalem, and you find money in front of their store. Now, Lo'olam Meiser. So we know that if you didn't live in Yerushalayim, if you lived in Tel Aviv or Haifa, besides Meiser Rishon that you had to give to the Levi, you gave a second Meiser called Meiser Sheni, which you had to bring to Yerushalayim. Many people, if it was produce, they would sell the produce. They'd have to pay a 20% surtax, and they would bring the money to Yerushalayim as Meiser Sheni and buy. First of all, they'd buy animals to bring as a korban shlamim. You could get away. It's sort of like using your tax money for tuition. It means you're already being taxed and you have to bring a korban. People would buy their animals with Meiser Sheni money. So we assume money that's found in front of animal sellers in Jerusalem, that the money there is going to be Meiser Sheni money. Now, if the money was found by Har Abayis, chulin. Now, you didn't buy your animal in Har Abayis. You bought it in the environs of Yerushalayim. Then you brought the animal to the Har Abayis. Once people were in Har Abayis, the money that they had in their pocket was chulin. Everything that they had to buy for whatever was already bought with the Meiser Sheni money in Yerushalayim. So in Har Abayis, if you find money, right away you assume the money is chulin. Over Yerushalayim, the rest of Jerusalem, so it depends. Now, when it says, when you found money in front of animal sellers, that was la'olam, whether it was yontif time or not yontif time. Because whenever people came to Jerusalem, even between the Yom Tovim, people had to fulfill certain nedorim or nedovas that they made, and they would have to buy korbanei shlomim. And they already made a calculation. Most of the meat eaten in Yerushalayim at all times was bought with Meiser Sheni money. But in the rest of Jerusalem, and you found money not in front of animal sellers. So it depends. Between Yomim Tovim, if you found money, so that was chulin money. B'shas regel, during Yontif, when all the oily regalim were there, meiser. Because people came when they came up oily regel zayin, they brought their Meiser Sheni. Amrav Shmaya Bar Zeira. why do we say right after Yontif it's chulin? Because the marketplaces were cleaned every night. So this is new money. Right now there's no Meiser Shema, it's all chulin. So you see, you go after who the last user was. Alma Amrinon Kamai Kama Ozlavana Achrininu. The earlier people had left, and this is new money. Same thing. Achanami Kama Kama Ozlavani Debasroninu. When we had multiple renters in the house, why do we say that it belongs to the guy who finds it? Why don't we say it belongs to the last person who rented there? This house was rented to 3 different Jews. And if it's from 3 people, it's considered like hefker. Now, a couple of days ago, we had a whole trying to prove what the sheet of Rav Shimon ben Elazar, Shmami Nashalach Rav Shimon ben Elazar, if you found something in Tiananmen Square, in a great plaza where there's a lot of public people there. So if it's Goyim, Rav Goyim, then what you find you can keep. If it's Rav Yisrael, it's Rav Machlokas, Rav Shimon ben Elazar and Chachamim. So according to Shimon ben Elazar, even if it was the majority of Jews, you could keep it. So are you saying now that we paskin like Rav Shimon ben Elazar, Afilu Rav Yisrael, because now you're saying that if 3 people lived here, it's hefker, and you can keep it. And therefore, the shaila that we was asking, is it like a Rav Elazar ben Rav Yisrael or not? We ended up learning the sugya that we didn't have an answer. So is this an answer? Gemara says no. This was an in for 3 goyim, and they lost the chaf. It's not Jews. There's no proof to Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. You could learn pshat that there were 3 Jews living there. And there's a unique situation here that we can't learn that whenever the public has Jews, you can keep it. Here's a special case. My time here, because the person who dropped the money here is certainly going to abandon hope to get it. Meimer Amar, he's saying to himself, there's no other people except these 2 people. Amri Kamayo Kama Mani Ladrili. I had mentioned a number of times that I had lost something and they never returned anything to me. Hashtal Adri, now they're going to return it. So if they had a mind to return, they would have returned it already. That they didn't return it to me must be that they intend to steal it. But he can't do anything. He can't prove anything. So he is misyayish from getting it back. That's why whoever finds it can keep it. But it's not a general proof like Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar wanted to learn, or like the sheet of Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, that if the majority of the people living in this town are Jews, whether you can keep it or not. Vaz Rav Nachman Tamei. Rav Nachman is consistent with his din. Ra Sela Shenafal Mishnayim. There are 2 people walking, and a person sees a coin drops from 2 people. The din is chayv la'achzir. He has to return it to the 2 people. My time, because the person who dropped it is not misyayish. Meimer Omer michti inishachin alav b'hadai elahai. He says, there's nobody else except this guy that's walking with me. If I go to him and say, listen, you're the one who took it, and even though he didn't take it, in either case, the one who dropped the coin is not misyayish. That's why whoever finds the coin has to announce it. But a coin that dropped from 3 people, mishloisha ein chayv lachzir. My time, because like we analyzed this before. The person who dropped it certainly is misyayish, because Meimer Omer Michte Trey Avibadoy. There are 2 other guys with me. If I accuse this guy, he's going to say I didn't take it. I accuse the other guy, he's going to say each one's going to blame the other. So he can't be toiveh to anybody really. So he's misyayish right away. And therefore, whoever finds it gets to keep it. Amar Rava. Hi de Omrit. Now that you said Bishloish and Chayiv La'aksir, that if 3 people lost something, you have to return it. Lo Yamorn El Deles Beishavar Pruta. We're talking about the item wasn't worth a shavar pruta, so that each one of them would have at least a pruta involved. If the item was worth at least 3 prutas, so it was at least a shavar pruta for each one of them, chayv lahachzir. He'd have to return. My time. Maybe they're partners and they're not misyayish, and they trust each other. But if it was less than a shavar pruta for each one, let's say the item itself was worth less than 3. So it's not even roy to return it, because so ikidiyami amarava avagav the less bay, even though there wasn't a shavar pruta, ela shavar shtei prutas, but if it was at least worth 2 prutas, chayv lahachzir. My time, because emer shut fininu, maybe all 3 of them are partners. One of them sort of separated himself from his share, so at least there's a pruta for the 2 partners that remain, and therefore they would not be abandoned hope, because it's still worthy of hashava. So Amar Rava, Ra Sela Shanafla, he sees a coin fall. Imnata Lifnei Yeush, if he picked up the coin before the bailim were misyash almanat legoizlo, and he has no intention of returning it, so he's over in a number of isurim. He's over mishum lo sigzol, and he's over mishum mitzvah saseh shel hashav teshivim. He's over a mitzvah saseh that says if you find an object, you should return it. And mishum lo suchal is'alem. Don't make yourself blind. Don't make yourself nish vizidik when you see something. Now, let's say he wants to do lifnei mishur sadir. He wants to return it, even after the owners abandoned hope. So he didn't fix the avera. It's matana hudiyah. It's viewed as a gift because they were misyayish and they were mafkir. The yisur de avad avad. The yisur that he violated. Now, this is all in a case where he took it before Yesh, and he had no intent to return it. However, not lifnei Yehush, amanas lachzira. Person picked up a coin. It's before a person was abandoned it, but he has intent to return it. So there's no gzeila. He's not over lo sigzo, and there's no salamta from. There's no he made himself blind from the aveira. But now time went by, and the bailim were misyayish. Right? Imtin. So in a case where not lifnei Yehush, there's no aveira. Now, himtin lachin yisyashu abaylim v'natla. Let's say he saw the person drop it, he doesn't pick it up, and he waits until he hears that the person was misyayish. Now, if niskavin legozla, he doesn't want to return it, oiver mishum Hashem teshivim. He's over on the mitzvah to say returning it, He didn't do a Maisa Gzela because the guy was already Misyashit. There's another case. He saw that it fell, and Himtim lodged in his Yashua, and never even picked it up until the Bailim was Misyash, Venotla. So there's no Gzela. And when he took it, it wasn't even considered a lost object by somebody. So there's no Chiyuv of Hashava. So there's no Hashev Teshivim. So, but he is Eina Oiver Elamishum Lo Suchali Salim Bilvad. He would be over of Lo Suchali Salim. Because he made himself as if he was blind about the Aveda, didn't want to return it. A person saw his friend drop some money. He dropped it at the beach in a whole bunch of sand. He doesn't have to return it. My timer. Person who drops a coin where there's a lot of sand abandons hope of ever finding it. He's bringing a sieve. He sees that the person who lost it brings a sieve and is trying to sieve the sand. He's still misyayish. He knows that it's very unlikely that he's going to find it. The one who's looking for it knows that other people have lost coins in the sand. So he's not even sure that what he finds is going to be his. And therefore, just because you see him looking, Mario, I've been teaching since 7:30.
Okay.
We didn't say we're gonna, it's tape, it was recording.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Tomorrow.
I'll go out and I'll listen to it.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm not finished yet. I'm on Chav Vav Amud Beis, the Mishnah. Okay?
Tomorrow 7:30.
No, but I'm not finished now. I'm on the Mishnah, Chav Vav Amud Beis. You could. Why did you guys think that I was teaching today at 8 o'clock?
I don't know why. I wrote at 8 o'clock because normally we've been doing that 8 o'clock except Tuesdays and Thursdays.
No, we've been learning 7:30 every night.
I don't think
How
so.
are you? Take a look. For the last 2 months, we've been learning at 7:30. Where did you come up all of a sudden 8 o'clock? Because
I don't know, because people were complaining about Mincha and so on. Well, okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, but I've been teaching since 7:30 tonight.
I thought 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what I wrote because I thought it was 8 o'clock. But
Okay, so
All right, don't worry about it. Just tell me where
it's
we
taped.
are.
It's taped. But I'm not finished. We're on Chav Vav Amud Beis, the Mishnah. But it's taped. Just listen to Mario. You'll send the tape right away so they can learn it tonight.
yeah, I will send it right away.
Okay. Tomorrow, though, we will learn at 7:30 the daf because we teach 8 o'clock the tzurba. And okay, so
Just realize Mincha doesn't get out till like,
let's make it every night will be 8 o'clock. Oh, you're saying
Mincha gets out, I get home and I walk across the street 7:35. And it'll get 5 or 10 minutes later each week. So
okay, so we'll go to 8 o'clock, Sorba, and we'll do the daf at 9 o'clock tomorrow. And we'll have to do the same thing Thursday night. After Tzvika Shir, we'll have to do it at 9 o'clock, no problem.
And
Tzvika
Wednesday,
Shir is 9
Now-
o'clock. No.
What? So
What time is Tzvika
otherwise,
Shir?
no, Monday.
Tweak is 8.
What was that?
I wonder what time Tzvika Shir was. Tzvika Shir is at 8.
yeah.
Our Shir will be at 9. The Daf
Right.
Yomi will be at 9. So
Okay.
what I'm saying is Monday and Wednesday, the Daf Yomi will be at 8 p.m.
Okay. All right, that's what
Tuesday
I
and
thought.
Thursday, it will be at 9 p.m.
Okay,
And then Friday will be when we've been doing it, which is 4 o'clock, 4:30, something like that. Shabbos will be in shul. And Sunday we'll have to do, well, Sunday you have to tell me what you guys, because the Navi Shir is at 8 o'clock. So we could do the Daf Yomi earlier or later. I would suggest
earlier,
we do it
earlier,
earlier. Okay, so 7:30 on Sunday night.
okay.
That'll be our summer schedule.
Ernie, tonight, you have to turn it off and I won't touch it. If not, the
Where do
recording
I
will
turn
be
it?
only
Where
a
do I
few
turn it
minutes.
off? But where do I turn it off?
Well, you say stop recording.
Where does it say stop recording? Stop video? No,
How, yeah, no, how are you been doing when I cannot be on the
it just
shield?
opens up automatically.
I know, but how did you close it when you had two shiurim?
I just do leave.
Okay, let's try again tonight. I won't touch it until you leave,
Okay.
because I hope it didn't screw up by me starting. Okay.
Okay, Mishnah. We're on Chaf Vav Amud Beis. Matzah b'chanus. You find something that doesn't have a siman in a market. Arei Shalom. So it belongs to the person who finds it, because it's a lot of people are there, and the person who lost it was misyash. Now it depends. Bein teva v'lachenveni. The teva is like the checkout stand, and it's if it's between his table and where the grocer sits, so that belongs to the chenveni. The people don't walk around there. It's just the chenveni is there. Similarly, if you're in the Beis Hamikdash area, they had money changers. That's called a shulchani. Somebody who you gave them a dinner and he gave you a sela or a zuz. So if you find it lifnei shulchani, if you find money in front of the shulchani's table, well, that's where the public is. So arei shalom, but bein hakisei v'ashulchani. But if money is found on the floor between the shulchani's chair and his table, so arei elu shel shulchani, belongs to the shulchani. Halokech perus mechaver, you buy fruit from a friend, or sheshilach lo chaver peros, or a friend sends you peros as a gift. Umatzah b'sochan mos, and you find money in the fruit. Harei elu shalom. Money must have dropped there coincidentally. Whoever dropped it has already been misyayish. Now, hayu mabeos tzurim, if it was piled up money, gathered, so then noitel l'machris, so that he can't keep, as long as it has a siman, he should announce that. Rabbi Elazar, afilu matzah munacham agabi hashulchan, that even if you found the money on the shulchan itself, that would belong to him if he found it. If you find it in front of the shulchan, you can keep it. We would deduce from there, the diuk would be that if the money was found on the shulchan itself, it should belong to the shulchani. Well, ema seifa. The Mishnah said if you find money between the chair and the table, it belongs to the shulchan. Well, we would then deduce al gabi shulchan shalom, you can keep it. So mehalek, it's circular. Mehalek lemishmene, you can't learn from there. V'Rabbi Elazar haminole. This din of Rabbi Elazar who said afilu munachim al gabi shulchan, he can keep it, where did he get that? If you can't deduce it from our Mishnah, where did he get it from? Where's his source? Amar Rava Masnisin Kashise. The Mishnah, our Mishnah was problematic. Because my area, the Tani ben Kisel Shulchan. The Mishnah was very careful to say between the chair and the Shulchan. Belongs to Shulchan. Lisni ala Shulchan. Why didn't it say on the table? Or inami b'shulchanos. Kidiktani reisha matzah b'chanus belongs shalom. El shmami na. Afilu menachal gabi shulchan arelu shalom. From the structure of the Mishnah, Rabbi Elazar deduced it.
Wouldn't that be obvious? I mean, it's like saying money in my wallet is mine. Duh. I mean, the guy's a money changer. Why wouldn't we assume that the money on his table is his?
No, because the public puts down money on that table. Where he sits, and between where he is and the table is what the Mishnah is saying belongs to the Shulchan. But the Shulchan itself is not necessarily, people drop their money on that Shulchan, they put it down. Multiple people. They would show their wares show their coinage by putting it on the table.
So afilu munachim al gabei shulchan means that it's a chiddush to say
Yes.
that anything found that's hefker, so to speak, on the shulchan actually belongs to the shulchan, because maybe somebody might have.
No, if you find it, Rabbi Elazar said, afilu menachem al gabi shulchan means that the person can keep it.
Oh, Hari Elu Shalo, that means the customer, not the chenvini, not the shulchani. I thought Hari Elu Shalo was the shulchani. I guess you're right. It belongs to the finder.
Yeah, we said if you found, the Mishnah said if you found it in front of the shulchan, you can keep it. And Rabbi Elazar's chiddush is
Even if it's on the
even
table.
if it's found on the table.
Okay, I got it.
In
Thank
fact,
you.
the halacha is matzah etzel shulchani ala shulchan. The kosher came in a shulchan v'lachutz lemotze, to the one who finds it. So that's exactly how the Shulchan Aruch and the Rambam paskins. Bein ha-shulchan l'shulchani, then it belongs to the shulchani. Okay, we'll stop here. So please, today's Gemara was very illuminating. So I'm sorry.
Go back and do it.
Yeah, listen to, it's not long. It took us
Yeah, no problem.
till when you guys came on.
Oh, you came at 7:30?
No, 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
so eight came at 7:30?
I didn't look.
Because we read your messages, Mario.
I did not read his message. My fault.
No, I usually don't. I just happened to today.
I didn't read his message because we've been
Yeah.
running at 7:30. But I understand with the mincha, yeah.
Maybe we should just start at 7:35 or 7:40, whatever.
Yeah, but then Kenny, what's gonna happen is next week, mincha's gonna be 7:10.
Change again.
Yeah, that's
I like
Yeah.
it to be relatively stable time. I think it's-
Sounds good, guys.
So
Right.
tomorrow, 8 o'clock, it'll just be one
No,
night a week.
Tomorrow,
And
7:30.
No,
Okay.
tomorrow's the Sorba's at 8,
Oh,
the-
at
be at
9 o'clock.
and Thursday
Nine.
at 9.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Night.